Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to explain why quitting alcohol and drugs will eventually change every single aspect of your life for the better. I'm going to give you one or two essentials you'll need to quit, and I'm going to explain why you should quit, because you may not even think you have a problem around it. Human beings are miracles in that we have the ability to be conscious of our own existence. In other words, we can think for ourselves. We have the ability to change, to adapt, to survive. We have unlimited potential, hidden inner strengths that we don't really know we've got. We have the ability to accomplish and achieve anything in our lives when we focus on it, when we have the discipline, the knowledge, and the will to get on and do it, and we set our goals. Before I go into the video, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. And please take another moment. The channel really needs some help and support at the moment. If you could click on the Ko-fi link in the description and perhaps give it some, have a read, I'd be so grateful. And thank you to those of you who've already done it. It means such a lot to me. Thank you. If you do a list of everything that's positive and everything that's negative about alcohol and drug consumption, I know which one's going to be the longest. I really can't think of, all the years I was addicted to both those things. I can't really think of any positives. Yes, it gave me temporary relief from whatever I was running from, those emotions, those uncomfortable feelings, that pain from the past that I couldn't let go. All of those things, yes, it gave me temporary relief. When I was feeling fear, stress, anxious, social anxiety, all of these things, it would give me that temporary relief. But then everything I was running from would come back 1,000-fold. It would make everything worse once drugs and alcohol had left my system, which meant that I took more and more and more to hide from these things until I was dependent on both. It's the progression that's the worrying thing about it. Alcohol, and I'll use just alcohol as this example, but everything here I'm saying applies to drugs as well. Alcohol is the greatest destroyer of human potential, or one of the greatest destroyers of human potential that exists. It's as simple as that. It keeps you stuck in one place, just running round on a hamster wheel. That hamster wheel, not necessarily of addiction. I mean, you could be the sort of person that just comes home from night and thinks, I've had a hard day at work and I'll have a little drink to unwind, then it ends up being half a bottle or a bottle of wine or whatever. And then that'll sort of carry on over to the weekend. And then there may be binge drinking at the weekend. And then it takes 2 or 3 days to recover from that, with the hangover and the illness that comes with it and the sickness. It will destroy every aspect of your health and your motivation and your discipline. And you'll just need another drink to sort of get rid of those symptoms. And before you know it, the weekend's round again and the whole cycle starts again. I'm not necessarily talking about, at this stage, sort of alcoholism or anything like that. I'm just talking about continued alcohol use, perhaps for the wrong reasons. It's not doing anything for you. It's just destroying. It means that you're not going for any goals. You're not achieving anything. You're just stuck on this constant wheel of addiction. Now, you're going to need a couple of things to stop you doing this. I talked about peer pressure in the last video. Seeking people's approval, being one of the crowd, because it's very difficult, because you've been brainwashed into thinking that you can't enjoy yourself without alcohol, for example. And I say I use drugs as well. Drugs is also involved in this. But you've just been brainwashed there, because some of the greatest times I've had have been sober. And the benefit is I remember them all. It doesn't add anything. It just means you act like a twat and then you can't remember what you've done the next day until you look down at your phone and your texts and how many people you've embarrassed, especially yourself, and upset and, maybe lives you've destroyed or whatever it is, because that's what happens. Seeking people's approval is not a good thing. Following the crowd is not a good thing. And you're never really going to get sober if you continue to do that. You're going to have to stand out as an individual. There's an old saying, if you seek people's approval, you'll always be their prisoner. So if you want to be on that side, with the crowd, following along, then I wish you well. And I wish you all the luck in the world. But I'll be on the other side. It's as simple as that. Because on that other side, you're an individual and you're making your own choices and you're setting goals. The first thing you're going to have to do to get sober is take responsibility. Take responsibility. Because so many people are in denial about this thing. I haven't got a problem. I'm just a social drinker. I'm just this. I'm just that. Thinking that someone eventually will come and rescue them. There'll be a magic wand waved, and they'll suddenly get this out of their lives and get sober and get happy, and the changes will come, and they'll have success and all the rest of it. Nothing happens by accident unless you're really, really lucky. Everything that you have to set out to accomplish is going to need focus, discipline, and you're going to have to take full responsibility for every single choice you make and every action and every consequence of those choices that you make. Until you do that and take a really honest, close look at yourself and say, right, what's the score here? Am I really in the shit with this? Is this escalating? Is this doing me any good? Is this bringing anything into my life? The answer to all those questions will be no. And on top of all that, it's slowly killing you as well. A long, slow, painful, uncomfortable death as it escalates. Listen, if you're one of those people out there that can take a drink and just have one, go out and have a pint or whatever as a little social thing, then I wish you all the luck in the world, because this isn't really aimed at you. But most people aren't like that at the moment because, the world, people are following along, following everyone else, as I say. The world's a very stressful place to be at the moment. It always has been, but at the moment, because of social media, because of media, because of news and fear and all the rest of these things, people are constantly scared and frightened, and also looking at themselves and comparing themselves with others, and feeling less than. And because of that, people are taking a drink and taking a drug just to escape those feelings sometimes, whether it's that or it's pain from the past. But take responsibility, don't follow the crowd, stop seeking approval, all these things. I've got lots of videos on this channel about withdrawal, about early recovery. Please have a look at them. You're going to need coaching. Make yourself. The other thing I must say is please find your tribe. If you're going to do this and stop, find people who are going to support you. Find people, like-minded people who, I don't care. It doesn't really matter where it is, whether it's a group like AA or NA, but make yourself accountable. It could be Al-Anon, it could be groups online, it could be friends, family, it could be anybody, professionals, drug and alcohol counsellors, whatever it is. Make yourself accountable. Make yourself accountable on this channel. Start today. Make today the day you make a change. Get the knowledge, plan a date, and go for it. And watch slowly, because it doesn't happen overnight, how every aspect of your life will change for the better. Because it will. Your relationships will change, and you'll have things come into your lives that you couldn't even imagine. You'll be setting goals for yourself when you start taking responsibility and achieving things that you can't even imagine. I look at my life a couple of years ago and I can't recognize that person. You'll become honest with yourself and other people. You'll have integrity, which means doing the difficult things when no one's watching every single day. Because until you do that, every single day and you take responsibility, you won't make any changes in your life for the better, whether it's quitting alcohol and drugs, whether it's going for that new job, whether it's following your dreams, whatever it is. Take responsibility and just do it, because you can achieve anything, I promise you. Much love to you all. Carpe diem. Seize the day today. Stay strong. Get sober. Please subscribe. Please click the Ko-fi link. Much love. Bye-bye.